Seattle City Council. The Seattle City Council is the legislative branch of government. Members set the city's direction by enacting ordinances and passing resolutions. The council authorizes expenditures, adopts regulations, levies taxes, controls the finances and property of the city, and performs many related legislative tasks. Of the 9 city council positions, 2, Position 8 and Position 9, are at large, representing the entire city for a term of 4 years. Positions 1 through 7 each represent different areas of the city. Only the 2 at-large council positions are up for election this year. The top 2 vote-getters in each position will advance to the general election in November. The remaining 7 council positions will be on the ballot in 2023. All voters in Seattle can vote in the at-large city council races.
"20 years ago, I ran for city council. At that time, I proposed an initiative titled Vision 2000. Other proposals I made you will find at georgefreeman.com. 2 have been enacted. Police officers and vehicles have cameras, although at the times they still turn those cameras off. I also proposed a bridge crossing at Lander and First Avenue. After 20 years, that bridge has finally been completed. I represent Visionary Ventures. I build restaurants and nightclubs. Seattle is the Emerald City. It is said that change comes from the bottom for the Emerald City, and given the problems that we face, those problems grow, and our decisions work their way up to the state, nation, and our planet. I intend to speak to those issues and the problems that we face through the initiatives that I have proposed. I believe that we need to add to the Seattle Center a new image. I believe that we need to look at our healthcare problems and that we do something similar to the bookmobile mobile bus health centers. I think that we need to move our homeless people into areas that are parks, which have security and health care and showers. We need to have transportation back for those. The people that live in Seattle, once a building is in the market of being sold, I think that cities should back that up with mortgage loans at a low cost and let those people live there. I also think that we need more police officers. I do not believe that we should defund our police department, and especially women. Women are half of this society, and we need half of the police department to be women.
Hello, my name is Jordan Elizabeth Fisher, and I'm running for Seattle City Council Position 8. Our community has a lot of concerns regarding police accountability, budget restraints, homeless crisis, addiction, healthcare, the eviction moratorium expiring right before winter, and finally, affordable housing. My experience as a mortgage lender and advocate for the homeless community gave me a comprehensive understanding of how money circulates, federal and state finance laws, core practices of the real estate industry that inhibit affordable housing, and how nonprofits operate. First and foremost, we need to centralize our resources to aid, audit ineffective nonprofits, and get them organized working together. With affordable housing, we can incentivize a more co-op style ownership of living in which a pool of renters have a fractional ownership of, let's say, a condo building. These owners would be able to set fair rental prices versus an investor by an equitable voting system and could assign their own requirements to occupy the space, such as removing the need for a credit check. Additionally, renters would now have an affordable way to build equity and wealth. My platform is centered around the concept of putting the government on the blockchain. This is one of the most innovative technologies ever created. We can program our money with accounting features that would audit the effectiveness of our taxes, the city budget, political contributions, and even nonprofits. Blockchain allows for the streamlining of government resources like unemployment, rental assistance, grants, and aid, resulting in funds being more readily accessible. I want to give the people a voice on how their dollars are being spent. Cryptocurrency is fun, but blockchain is where the revolution is. I'm asking for your vote, and I think that I can be a very effective, powerful, and innovative voice of leadership for our community. Visit my website for more details.
Hi, Seattle. I'm Bobby Lindsay, a candidate for Seattle City Council, Position 8. I've been given 2 minutes to introduce myself, so here it is. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I moved to Seattle a little over 3 years ago. With no friends, no family supporting me, my only option was to live in my car. I worked 2 jobs, showered at the gym, and actually used a cooler on the back seat of my floor's back seat as a refrigerator. What I thought would be temporary lasted 22 months, no breaks, or temporary housing in between. During that time, I cleared up all my debts, raised my credit score, and then I was able to secure housing. I love to tell that story because it shows nothing is impossible with a little determination and a lot of hard work. Sometimes we encounter difficult situations in life that push us to become the person we know we're supposed to be. My situation prepared me for this position. While homeless, I lived what most fear, what many discuss, and most try not to think about. I have a different perspective on our city's issues from actual, on-the-ground lived experience. I'm the person we need, Seattle, and I humbly ask for your support. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.
Hi, Seattle. My name is Brian Fahey, and I have been a trade worker my entire working life. I started in the HVAC trade when I was 13, helping my neighbor start his business and assisting with install work throughout my summer vacations. I did this until I moved to Seattle in 2003. Since moving here, I've continued my career in the HVAC trade to the point of managing multiple Class A high-rise operations in downtown. Because of this, I am very familiar with the benefits of preventive actions rather than reactive. I am running for Seattle City Council because I feel we need pragmatic leaders who use tried and true, fact-based approaches to sensitive and emotional issues to ensure the best possible outcomes. I believe that campaign finance is one of the largest issues we face in a representative democracy. I feel that all constituency-based races should have to use our democracy voucher program. Our leaders need to be beholden to the people, not the corporate donors. I also believe that we as a city should do more for ourselves when it comes to education funding. In my opinion, education funding should be permanent and tied to progressive B&O taxes to reduce the burden on surrounding areas and eliminate the need for levies. Your children deserve better than the unstable system that we give them. In terms of some of the social issues hitting our city right now, again, I believe the pragmatic and evidence-based approach is the best. We need a police force that respects our city and its views. We also need a police force that our city respects. Accountability is what is missing to allow good police to flourish. We should also do more to encourage Seattle residents to become police in the city that they call home.
Hello, my name is Jesse James and I am running for Seattle City Council Position 8. I have noticed as of late many people's discouragement with the Democratic Party, and yet I don't think the Republican Party is quite the voice we're looking for either. Fortunately, I don't consider myself a part of either of these overbloated, inefficient associations. I'm not a fringe activist, nor am I a career politician. I'm a voice for the people, pure and simple. The main issue I would like to address is that of our beloved democracy voucher program, and how the current regulations give incumbents and career politicians an advantage over the grassroots candidates the program is supposed to help support. The current requirement citywide candidates like myself need to meet before they can receive a single voucher is $410 donations from Seattle voters. The problem is, of course, anyone with an established base can fill this requirement much quicker than the unknown grassroots candidates it's supposed to support. It is because of this that not a single city council member or mayor has been unseated since the start of this program, and for this reason I am not participating in the democracy voucher program out of protest, as I believe citizens should have the freedom to give their vouchers to any candidate on the ballot. Other issues I am an advocate for are the legalization and taxations of card rooms, an end to the sweetened beverage tax, clearing encampments near our schools, and the city's general support in rebuilding our small business community. In closing, if you are looking for change and value a practical, reasonable, hardworking, and efficient individual looking out for you, I may just be your candidate. Thank you and good day.
My name is Kenneth Wilson, and I'm running for Seattle City Council 8. I'm a licensed bridge structural engineer with 30 years experience working on transportation and infrastructure projects and own a small business since 2005. I completed my master's degree in civil engineering at UW, and I'm a proud resident of Seattle for over 28 years. Having lived in West Seattle and now in the Wallingford-Green Lake neighborhood with my wife and 2 daughters, I have a strong appreciation for the city's many distinct neighborhoods. This past year has taught me important lessons and is the reason I am running. It reminded me of the value of family. It showed me once again the ingenuity of American science and manufacturing, with Ford and GE quickly switching to medical devices, while our scientists were first to produce mass testing and viable vaccines. Unfortunately, it also demonstrated to me that our incumbent representatives do not hold our interests and needs first. Instead, often focusing on political projects. We need a better council. Our council failed us with homeless, our infrastructure, including cutting the West Seattle access, and our safety. I will not defund our police and instead promise to support and work with them to better serve Seattle. Our city is an old, mature city, and the infrastructure needs to be updated and upgraded. This includes power, utility systems, sewer mains, water, and our city's bridges and roads. West Seattle access must be restored and open now, not in 2022. We've analyzed it, we understand it better, and there are usage opportunities. We need homeless solutions that are not just temporary shelter, but real actions that correct addictions and mental problems, such as an 18 to 24-month transition housing with social services. As your council member, it is my intention to build on our strengths, restore rational decisions, and to assure progress follow-up. I have the ability, energy, and expertise to restore Seattle to the city we want. I would appreciate your vote.
My name is Paul Felipe Glumez. I was born in Mexico and have lived in Seattle for 41 years. I am running for Seattle City Council, Position 8, in order to stop the transformation of the city that I love into an impoverished, crime-ridden, and drug-infested slum. I'm doing this because no other candidate has come forward to say what must be said, or to exhibit the personal courage and commitment to do what is needed to be done. The primary cause of this transformation of Seattle is a combination of wrong policies and gross mismanagement by the current city council. This includes the defunding of law enforcement and enabling nonprofits to promote a growing billion-dollar-a-year homeless industrial complex, replete with safe injection sites and free drugs. My first priority is to restore to Seattle a fully funded public safety system. This includes creating the conditions where the homeless are forced off the streets into emergency transitional shelters. From there, the individual problems of the homeless person can be defined, and that person can be forwarded to substance abuse treatment, psychological care, or work counseling. The future of the Seattle area rests on building an advanced 21st century science and technology manufacturing hub for the world. Unfortunately, Seattle's future has been severely jeopardized by the current city council. If you want a future for Seattle, vote Paul Felipe Glumez, Position 8.
Sieg Heil, Seattle Commie Nazi Fascist. Sieg Heil, Seattle Council and Mayor are fascist and clown, are crazy Nazi Gestapo garbage rats from Animal Farm. I am Alex Zimmerman, speak to you, Seattle Emerald degenerate super smart freaking idiot, with Nazi socialist democrat and anti-Semite principle. Clean dirty stupid council chamber from this clown, criminal and killer. This cannot go on forever. Stand up Seattle, stand up America. We the people need to elect intelligent, civilized businessmen who can bring Seattle back to normal life, who will stop the crook who suck blood and money from us and make us life miserable, who will have Q&A every month with the people in each district, who does not scared to talk to the people frankly and honestly, who is not a fascist, sexopath, or lunatic, who is American and respect and restore our Constitution, love, and freedom of speech, who is not scared to open Bertha Lady rooms in City Hall 1 day per week for citizen conversation and honest candidate forum for everybody. We need to stop Nazi socialist Democrat mafia with progressive Gestapo principle which have brought Seattle to #1 fascist city in America in total collapse. Only pure idiot don't understand so one-party system is always fascism. We need to clean our government from dirty garbage rats who drink from fat Catholic. Stand up, Seattle, stand up, America. It's time for real changes.
Emerging from this pandemic, we have an opportunity to come together, to roll up our sleeves and build a stronger, more equitable Seattle. I'm Teresa Mosqueda, and I've dedicated my career to building coalitions and getting results by bringing together diverse perspectives and passing progressive policies that challenge the status quo. In my first term here at Seattle City Council, with your help, we passed progressive policies to make Seattle more equitable and just. I led the coalition and passed the Jumpstart Progressive Revenue proposal to bring in over $214 million a year for investments in housing and small businesses, in equitable development and Green New Deal priorities. I passed wage and leave standards for app-based drivers, made sure that our hotel workers had health care and workplace protections, and during COVID, made sure that our grocery workers had hazard pay. I led on the Domestic Workers' Bill of Rights that is now a national model for other cities. And we addressed the climate crisis by passing energy efficiency standards for city buildings and funding more housing within the city of Seattle. In the wake of COVID, I hope to continue to do this important work with your support. I hope to return to council with your vote and make sure that we can continue to invest in workers and small businesses, address environmental crisis, as well as make sure that we're addressing the health and stability for all Seattleites. I will fight for more affordable housing across our city, for police accountability and upstream investments, making sure that we invest in homeless prevention strategies and ensure that workers and small businesses have the support they need for a more equitable Seattle post-COVID. I hope you'll join me and support my campaign for re-election. Please join individuals like Representative Jayapal, Attorney General Bob Ferguson, labor unions from across this county, including SEIU, Teamsters, UFCW, so many environmental justice groups like the Sierra Club and Washington Conservation Voters, and folks fighting for women's rights, LGBT rights, and healthcare justice. It's been an honor to serve you.
My name is Kate Martin. I'm a planning and design consultant and an affordable housing provider. I know we agree that Seattle needs better government, and that is why I'm challenging the incumbent and the status quo. As pressing problems go unsolved while bigger and bigger budgets are consumed, my heart breaks. This is my town for 42 years. I raised my family here, have my business here, and have worked shoulder to shoulder with fellow volunteers from one end of this city to the other for decades. It's clear that things are actually getting worse. Homelessness, support for the mentally ill and addicted, public safety, and affordable housing are all crises. We, the taxpayers, are doing our part, voting for higher taxes with the promise it will help, but those promises have been broken. Why does the council keep failing? Why do we, the voters, accept these failures? I see a few answers. First, democracy is under attack in our city. Special interest power is too great, and elections have become squabbles between the city's most powerful groups. We must fully recognize the district-level democracy we voted for in 2013. District-level plans and electing district council members to shepherd those plans will make all of the difference. Second, there's too little intellectual and professional diversity on the council. Today, it's an echo chamber that can't even notice it's failing. I'll bring debate, professional problem-solving skills, and a focus on proven solutions. Seattle's history is great, and it wasn't that long ago that we were safer, healthier, and better housed. While we can't fix these problems overnight, it's time we recompose the council to get Seattle on track. Please visit electkatemartin.com and theseattlejournal.com to learn more. I ask for your vote and truly cannot wait to serve you as the next Position 8 Seattle City Council member. Thank you for your consideration.